in order to protect their daughter. Her parents have imprisoned her in a machine that is less than 10 square meters. Even when they deliver supplies to her every day, they stay away from her and don't have any contact with her. Since her daughter suffered from exhaustion since she was a child, she could only breathe the air filtered by the purification chamber. She thought she would stay in this big coffin for the rest of her life. But then the unexpected happened. That day, the pod lit up for no apparent reason. And even more frightening was when they saw a yellow stream of air coming out of the street through the glass. The air was coming out of the city's sewage pipes and anyone who inhaled it fell to the ground. The father, who was on the street, was dumbfounded. But before he could take 2 steps, he saw an even bigger stream of air coming towards him. Just a moment's lapse of concentration, and it was already in front of him. The street was in chaos, and the man ran desperately towards his home. When he got home, he pulled his wife away from the window, and the next moment, the poisonous gases were blurring the window. The next moment, the poisonous gas blurred the windows and seeped in through the cracks. Luckily, his daughter was protected by an evolutionary pod, so the man turned it into a power-saving mode and hurriedly pulled his wife out of the house. As the poisonous gas was rapidly coming up the stairs, they could only run to the higher floors. Finally, the couple arrived at the top floor, where a kind old couple let them in without any difficulty. The mother took out her walkie-talkie and asked her daughter how she was doing and was relieved to learn that she was fine. Then a few people came to the balcony to look at the foot of the terrible scene. They could not speak, but that wasn't the worst of it. Then the men climbed up to the roof and looked out over the city to see the entire city covered in poisonous fog, which looked like a paradise. But inside there was a hidden danger. Moreover, the poison has caused a power outage in the city, and the girl in the evolutionary module is not hurt, but the battery backup won't last the night at all. So the man is going to hold his breath and go downstairs. To change his daughter's battery. He arrives in the hallway and tentatively stirs up a wisp of smoke. The gas is colorless and odorless, but it's poisonous, and it would take more than 10 minutes to change the batteries, so he couldn't hold his breath for that long. At that moment, the man suddenly thought that there was an old man downstairs who always had an oxygen tank at home. For the sake of his daughter's safety, he decided to climb down along the water pipe. When he was about to enter the poisonous fog, the man took a big breath. He then held his breath and soon arrived at the target's floor. After breaking the window, he managed to enter the home of the grandfather just to search for a man lying on the ground. The man walked up and found that it was his neighbor, but he wasn't breathing. The man didn't have time to be sad because he couldn't hold on much longer. What's worse is that the oxygen tank that he usually carries with him is not nearby.